Hi everybody. So today I'm going to show you how to make this little Eeyore. This is what it's going to look like. Melanie Willis from Facebook actually tweaked one of my animal designs and she was able to come up with a little, like an extremely adorable Eeyore. I fell in love with the picture immediately. So here I am to show you how to create her little Eeyore with just a few modifications. So I'm giving her full credit. This is absolutely adorable. So I'm going to show you the supplies that you're going to need is about 428 blue, 153 purple, or whatever colors you'd like to use. I'm also going to use 91 of the light pink colors for the nose, 30 black bands, 4 red bands, and 4 white bands. I'm also going to use 2 C-clips. Both of them are going to be going in the nose area here to hold the black bands. I'm also going to use my hook to crochet and some stuffing to fill it. I do hope you enjoy this as much as I do, and let's get started. Round 1 of the legs. I am going to show you how to do 1, and then you're going to pause the video and make 3 more. To start off the legs, I'm going to start with the blue color, and I'm going to use the bottom of my loom. So turn your loom upside down, and we're going to do 6 single crochets in the magic ring. For the legs, I won't be using a stitch marker. If you feel comfortable, I'll tell you where you can place the stitch marker, but it's so small that I'm not going to. So I'm going to start off with a single band, and I'm going to wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now you're just going to pull 6 bands through, 1 at a time. So with your hook, you want to grab your first band and bring it through on your hook, and you want to bring this band over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band, bring it through on your hook, and bring these 2 over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your third, bring it through on your hook, and bring the 2 bands over. Go back in, your fourth band on your hook, and bring the 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Back in for your fifth on your hook, bring it to the side. Go back in for your sixth on your hook, and 2 bands over. Now I'm just going to remove off the loom, and you're just going to move your bands around so that they're nice and even, and you're going to see that you have 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is on your hook. I have rounds 2, 3, and 4 laid out. This is the pattern of the colors that I will be using. So I'm going to start off with round 2, and I'm going to go with a single in the first chain, 2 purple, then a purple, then a blue, 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 blue. So in my first chain, I'm going to bring a purple through, and I'm not going to do a slip knot. I'm just going to put on my hook and slide. We don't need to do any slip stitch or slip knot. We're just going to go in rounds. So my next stitch, I'm going to bring 2 purple bands through the same chain, so going back in. So I'm increasing this round to 8 stitches now. My next chain, I'm going to add 1 purple, going back in, that same chain, and adding my blue. You have 3 chains left, so I'm going to add 3 blues, 1 in each of them. So you'll see that you have 8 stitches. I'm going to continue with round 3 now. I'm going to add a purple in the first 4 chains, and then in the next 4 blue I'm going to add. So going in my first chain with 1 purple. My next with 1. My next and the last purple. Now I'm going to add a single blue in the last 4 chains. I'm not doing a slip stitch. So round 3 is complete and you should have 8 stitches. Just to count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is on your hook. Now with round 4, we're just going to repeat the same 4 purple and then 4 blue in each chain around. So my first chain, just bringing the purple on my hook and slide. Continue all the way around. Now you have 4 blue, or your last band, you want to close it off with a slip stitch, or a slip knot, sorry. So just going in each chain. And my last band, you're going to pull it through all of the loops that are on your hook, grab the end, and tie it off. Now I'm just going to open this up a little bit so it's nice and even. And I'm going to take a little bit of stuffing. I'm just going to roll it and you just want to put it inside. I'm going to use a pencil just to make it nice and neat because when we're sewing on the legs, it's very easy to catch all the stuffing. So please rewind the video and make 3 more legs. So we're going to sew the head now, and to start off I'm going to be using a light color pink for the face. You're going to need 7 bands and we're going to do 6 single crochets in the magic ring. So again, I'm using the bottom part of my loom and I take a single band and wrap it around the peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. With your hook, grab your first band, bring it through, bring your loop over, bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band on your hook and bring your 2 bands over and bring it to the side. Go back in, 2 bands over. Your fourth, 2 bands over. Your fifth, and your sixth. You want to attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook and remove off the loom. You should have 6 stitches. Move your bands around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is on your hook. Round 2 of the head, continuing with my light color pink, I am going to increase on every stitch around. So I'm going to add 2 bands to each chain. You're going to repeat this pattern 6 times all the way around. Going in the first chain, you're going to add 2 bands one at a time. Back in. And continue. 2 bands in the next chain, back in, your next with 2, one at a time, back in, the next, back in, and continue. You should have 12 stitches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is on your hook. Remove your stitch marker and just move your bands around. Round 3 of the head, I'm continuing with my light color, and the pattern is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Repeat this pattern 6 times. At the end of round 3, you will have 18 stitches. Going in your first chain with 1 band. Your second chain with 2. Back in. Repeat 1, 2 in the next. Back in. Repeat 1, 2 in the next. Repeat this pattern all the way around. You should have 18 stitches. For rounds 4, 5, and 6, we're just going to add 1 band in each chain around. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. At the end of each round, you should have 18 stitches. So each one of my piles has 18 bands. I'm going to do round 4 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to do rounds 5 and 6. So going in your first chain, not where it's getting pulled, with 1 band. The next, 1. 1 in the next. So just continue going around, adding 1 band in each chain. You can remove your stitch marker, add it to the band around your hook, and please pause the video to continue the next 2 rounds. For rounds 7, 8, and 9, I'm going to be changing color to blue, and we are just going to add 1 band to each chain around. So I'll be using 18 bands, and at the end of each round you should have 18 stitches. I'm going to do round 7 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to do rounds 8 and 9. Going in my first stitch, not where it's getting pulled, I'm going to bring 1 band through all of the loops that are on my hook and slide. Now just adding 1 band to each chain around on my hook, so I have the 3, and slide, and just continue. all the way around and continue. If at any point in time I'm going too fast for you, please pause the video, continue, and come back to me when you're ready. And the last 18 stitches, remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. You're not going to count the little slip knot that we have right here. So to start you off on round 8, just go in your first chain, not in that little slip knot, and grab your band and bring it through. So please pause the video and continue. For round 10 of the head, we're going to add the eyes now, and this is going to be the pattern. So all we're going to do is single crochet in each chain around, adding 1 band to each chain. On chains 8 and chains 12, we'll be adding the eyes. To do the eyes, I will be using 2 black and 2 white for each eye. To do that, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to push the band up here into the center of my hook. I'm going to take a single black band and wrap it around my hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to slide this onto double white bands. Pinch and slide. And this will be one of your eyes. Again, wrap it around your hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And slide this onto double white. Pinch, bring it to the center, and you will place this for stitch 12. So to get started, we're going to go in our first chain, not where it's getting pulled, adding 1 band. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and our 8, we're adding the eye. So you want to grab the 2 loops here on the hook. You want to try placing the other ends on your finger, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So I'm going to bring it through all of the blue bands that are on my hook and grab the end and slide. Now I'm going to continue going around. So this is 9. I'm going to do a slip stitch. So I'm going to bring it through all the loops on my hook, grab the end, and slide. 10, 11, and 12, the next eye. Grab the 2 loops and do a slip stitch through all the blue, grab the end, and slide. Now you're going to continue going around. You're going to start off with a slip stitch to change color, grab the end, and slide. And now just crochet normally on your hook. And this is what you should have so far. I'm going to remove my stitch marker. You should have 18 stitches. I'm just going to put this around the band on my hook. For round 11, we're just going to add 1 band in each chain around. So I'll be using 18 bands, and at the end of round 11, you'll have 18 stitches. Going in my first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and adding 1 rubber band. Continue. When we get to the white part of the eyes, I'll show you where you need to add your bands. So I'm at the white, and you're not going to go through this little chain here on the white, that's your slip knot. Just go through both of the bands and bring one band through. Now when you reach the blue, you're not going to go through this little tiny chain here, that's your slip knot. You're going to go through the next one here, adding one band and bring it through. Continue. I'm at the white again, so I'm not going through the little slip knot, I'm going through the actual chain, so you'll have the 4 little loops on your hook and bring a band through. You're at the blue, don't go through the little slip knot, go through your chain. And now you can just continue around. For round 12, we're going to start to decrease, so I'm going to make this round smaller. At the end of round 12, you will have 12 stitches. So the pattern is going to be 1, 2, and 3 together, 1, 2, and 3 together, 1, 2, and 3 together. Repeat this 6 times. I'm just going to move my stitch marker and going in my first chain with 1 band. Now take chains 2 and chain 3 and stitch together. Bring your body to the center of that band to release some tension and repeat 1, 2, and 3 together. And repeat 1, 2, and 3 together. And just continue around. Should have 12 stitches. Never count where your C-clip is. For rounds 13 and 14, we're just adding a single band to each chain around. I'm going to do round 3 with you, and you're going to pause the video to do rounds 14. Before I do that, I'm just going to fix the eyes. So I'm just going to move my band to the center here. I'm going to open it up, and you're going to see a little V. All you want to do is open it up and just kind of push the band in, just to have a little bit more of so it looks a little bit flatter. Open up the V. And then you can just move the bands around, and then we can fix it up at the end a little bit with our hook. So I'm going to go around. Now I'm going to start round 13, going in my first chain, with 1 band in each chain around. Oops. didn't count properly. So you should have 12 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Pause the video and continue with round 14. Before I start off with round 15, I'm just going to grab some stuffing and fill it. I'm just going to move my band up on the hook, open it up. Don't use too much. I have a little bit too much inside. Okay, and now I'm just going to close this off. So I'm going to use 7 bands, and I'm going to take every 1 and 2 and stitch together. So right now, I'm going to take 1 and 2, and I'm going to bring a band through and slide. Repeat, 1 and 2. One and 2. I'm at where my stitch marker is. I'm just going to remove it. And I'm going to grab the next 2 stitches right beside it and then do a slip knot. And I'm going to bring it through all of the bands that are on my hook. Grab the end and tie off. With my hook, I'm just going to go through and grab the stuffing just so it's not so visible here in the front, and bring it to the back. You could fix the eyes a little bit now. I'm just grabbing the bands, the white bands that are right below in the bottom here, and I'm just going to give it a tug. I'm going to grab the blue here, the little knot, give it a tug, and on the other side, just grabbing all 4 of the white loops and the blue. I'm just going to loosen up some of the tension right here from pulling the bands, and that should be okay. Now I'm going to show you how to make the tail. This is what it's going to look like, and this is the pattern that I'm going to be following. So I'm going to use my hook, and we're just going to make a single chain here. I'm going to start off with a black band and wrap it around my hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to use 3 black bands. If you'd like, you can just use 2. And slide your band on, grab your other end. And now I'm going to use 2 black bands, pinch, slide, and grab the other end. Now, double blue bands, you're going to do this 6 times. That was 2. 3. 4. 5. and 6. You can remove this off your hook and place to the side. Now we're going to do the ears. I'm going to do both of them with you. So round 1, we are going to do 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So turn your loom upside down. You're going to take a single band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now reach in, bring your first band through on your hook and bring your band over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band, bring through, 2 bands over. Go back in for your third, bring it through, and you want to bring the 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your fourth, on your hook, and bring the 2 bands over. And our last band, bring it through, bring your 2 bands over. Now you're just going to attach a stitch marker to the band that's around your hook. And remove off the loom, and you should have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You just want to move your bands around. This is the pattern for rounds 3. For rounds 2 and rounds 3, all we're going to do is add 1 band to each chain around. So starting off with round 2, I'm going to use 5 blue elastics, and I'm going to bring 1 band through each chain. So going through my first, this is going to be kind of tiny, so take your time. The next chain with 1, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and 1 in my last. Now if you do lay out the bands like I did, you really don't need a stitch marker. It is so tiny, but just for you, I'm going to leave this on, and I'm going to move on to round 3. I'm going to start off with purple. So I'm going to go in my first chain, adding 1 purple. I'm not going to do a slip knot. You don't need to. I'm going to just slide. My next chain with 1 purple. And then you have 3 more chains. You're going to add a blue in each. And the last one. Just going to open this up, and you're going to see I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rounds 4 of the ear, I'm going to increase on every stitch around. So I'm going to add 2 bands in each chain. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. This is the pattern of colors. So I'm going to go in my first chain, adding 2 purple bands one at a time. Don't do a slip stitch, just crochet around. My next chain, back in, so you should have 3 more chains of blue. I'm not going to use the stitch marker right after this one. I feel it's in my way. The last chain with 2. So you should have 10 stitches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. For rounds 5 and round 6 of the ear, we're going to do the same pattern. So we're going to start off with 3 purples. So I'm going to do round 5. I'm going to go in my first chain and add 1 purple on your hook inside. Your next chain, the next. Now I'm just going to continue around using the blue until I hit the end. So going in the purple here and adding a blue. So you're going to be using 10 bands, and at the end of each round you should have 10 stitches. And the last chain of blue. So we're going to continue with round 6, following the same pattern. First one is with purple, next chain, and then now with your blues. So you should have 10 stitches. For round 7, of the ear, we're going to decrease. So we're going to take 1 and 2 and stitch together. 1 and 2 and stitch together. You're going to use 5 rubber bands, and I'm going to start off with a single purple. So going in my first chain 1, and then grabbing chain 2, and we're going to stitch together. And just slide. Again, chains 1 and chains 2 and stitch together. Repeat, 1 and 2. One and 2. And then 1 and 2. You should have 5 stitches. 1, the purple, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The last 2 rounds, round 8 and 9 of the ear, this is the pattern. We're just going to add a single band to each chain around. You might want to just open it up a little bit so you can see where your chains are. I'm going to start off with a single purple. So I'm going to go through my purple and adding 1 band. My next chain, 1. 1. 1. And 1 more. That was 5. We're going to do this one more time using 5 blue. So going in the purple, just keep an eye on your stitches. And you're going to do a slip knot with your last band. So bring it through all of the chains, grab the end, and tie off. Now I'm going to add another little slip knot on the other side of the ear, and these will be our sewing bands. So have your purple in the back, make flat. We are not stuffing this. And you're going to grab the 2 chains on the sides. So it depends on how really you sewed it. You just want to grab the corner. So it depends on where your slip knot is. And I'm just going to bring a band right through here. And just do a little slip knot. So you're going to repeat this to make yourself a second one. So round 1, we are going to do 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So turn your loom upside down. You're going to take a single band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now reach in, bring your first band through on your hook and bring your band over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band, bring through, 2 bands over. Go back in for your third, bring it through, and you want to bring the 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your fourth, on your hook, and bring the 2 bands over. And our last band, bring it through, bring your 2 bands over. Now you're just going to attach a stitch marker to the band that's around your hook. And remove off the loom, and you should have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You just want to move your bands around. This is the pattern for rounds 3. For rounds 2 and rounds 3, all we're going to do is add 1 band to each chain around. So starting off with round 2, I'm going to use 5 blue elastics, and I'm going to bring 1 band through each chain. So going through my first, this is going to be kind of tiny, so take your time. The next chain with 1, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and 1 in my last. Now if you do lay out the bands like I did, you really don't need a stitch marker. It is so tiny, but just for you, I'm going to leave this on, and I'm going to move on to round 3. I'm going to start off with purple. So I'm going to go in my first chain, adding 1 purple. I'm not going to do a slip knot. You don't need to. I'm going to just slide. My next chain with 1 purple. And then you have 3 more chains. You're going to add a blue in each. And the last one. Just going to open this up, and you're going to see a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rounds 4 of the ear, I'm going to increase on every stitch around. So I'm going to add 2 bands in each chain. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. This is the pattern of colors. So I'm going to go in my first chain, adding 2 purple bands one at a time. Don't do a slip stitch, just crochet around. my next chain, back in, so you should have 3 more chains of blue, I'm not going to use the stitch marker right after this one. I feel it's in my way. The last chain with 2. So you should have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. For rounds 5 and round 6 of the ear, we're going to do the same pattern. So we're going to start off with 3 purples. So I'm going to do round 5. I'm going to go in my first chain and add 1 purple on your hook inside. Your next chain, the next. Now I'm just going to continue around using the blue until I hit the end. So going in the purple here and adding a blue. So you're going to be using 10 bands, and at the end of each round you should have 10 stitches. And the last chain of blue. So we're going to continue with round 6, following the same pattern. First one is with purple, next chain, and then now with your blues. So you should have 10 stitches. For round 7, of the ear, we're going to decrease. So we're going to take 1 and 2 and stitch together. 1 and 2 and stitch together. You're going to use 5 rubber bands, and I'm going to start off with a single purple. So going in my first chain 1, and then grabbing chain 2, and we're going to stitch together. And just slide. Again, chains 1 and chains 2 and stitch together. Repeat, 1 and 2. One and 2. And then 1 and 2. You should have 5 stitches. 1, the purple, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The last 2 rounds, round 8 and 9 of the ear, this is the pattern. We're just going to add a single band to each chain around. You might want to just open it up a little bit so you can see where your chains are. I'm going to start off with a single purple. So I'm going to go through my purple and adding 1 band. My next chain, 1. 1, 1, and 1 more. That was 5. We're going to do this one more time using 5 blue. So going in the purple, just keep an eye on your stitches. And you're going to do a slip knot with your last band. So bring it through all of the chains, grab the end, and tie off. Now I'm going to add another little slip knot on the other side of the ear, and these will be our sewing bands. So have your purple in the back, make flat. We are not stuffing this. And you're going to grab the 2 chains on the sides. So it depends on how really you sewed it. You just want to grab the corner. So it depends on where your slip knot is. And I'm just going to bring a band right through here. And just do a little slip knot. So you're going to repeat this to make yourself a second one. Now we're going to do the body, and we're going to do 5 single crochets on the magic ring. So I'm going to use the bottom peg. I'm going to take a single band and wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. With your hook, you're going to bring the 5 bands through one at a time. First, on your hook, band over and bring it to the side. Go back in. You have 3 loops. You want to bring the 2 over and bring it to the side. Back in for your third, on your hook, and 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Your fourth, you want to bring through, 2 bands over, and your fifth, 2 bands over. I'm going to attach my stitch marker to the band that's around my hook and remove off the loom. You should have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on your hook. Round 2 of the body, we're going to increase on every stitch. So you're going to add 2 bands to each chain around. At the end of round 2, you will have 10 stitches. So I'm going to go in my first chain. I'm going to add 2 rubber bands one at a time. Slide and go back in that same chain for your second band. Moving on to the next chain, 2 bands one at a time. Back in. And just repeat all the way around. The next chain with 2. Next chain. And the last. You should have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remove your stitch marker. Round 3 of the body, we are going to increase on every second stitch. So the pattern is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Repeat this 5 times. At the end of round 3, you will have 15 stitches. So going through your first chain with 1 and your next chain with 2. Back in and repeat. 1, next chain with 2. Back in and just repeat. I drop my stitches. You will have 15 stitches. Remove your stitch marker. Round 4 of the body, I'm going to be adding 2 bands on every 3rd stitch. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Repeat this 5 times. At the end of round 4, you'll have 20 stitches. So going in your first chain with 1, your second chain, 1, and your third chain with 2. Repeat 1, 1, 2. Back in and repeat. You should have 20 stitches. Just move your bands around. I'm on round 5 now of the body, and I'm going to start off with purple. So I'm going to do 3 single chains with a purple and end with purple. So I'm going to go in my first chain. I'm going to use 20 bands, so at the end of the rounds you'll have 20 stitches. I'm going to go in my first chain, not where it's being pulled. I'm not going to do a slip stitch. I'm just going to put on my hook. So you have the 3 loops, 1 blue and 2 purple, and slide. Going on to the next one with a purple and 1 more purple. Now I'm going to continue all the way around with blue, and the last 3 chains I'm going to be adding purple. I'm going for the blue now. I'm not doing a slip stitch, I'm just going to crochet all the way around. I'm laying out the patterns for you, so you could pause the video and just look where I'm at, the pattern, instead of having the video playing. It's up to you. my last 3 stitches with purple, just crochet, I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and I'm going to move on to round 6. Starting off again with 3 purples, and then continuing with the blue until your last 3 stitches. Onto purple, you have 20 stitches, remove your stitch marker. Round 7 of the body, this is the pattern. You're using 20 bands, so you should finish with 20 stitches. I'm going to start off with 2 purple, so a single band in each chain around. The last 4 chains will be purple. So going in my first chain with 1 purple. The next, and then continuing with blue, till you hit your 4th last chain. So now I have 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, switching to purple. Remove your stitch marker. This is the pattern. I'm going to start off with 2 purple and end with 5 purple in the last 5 chains. So going in the first, and then continuing around till you hit your 5th last chain with blue here. Now I'm on my last 5, switching to purple. "20 stitches. Round 9, it's the same as round 8 that we just did. 2 purple, blue, and the last 5 are purple. So I'm going to start one band in each chain. The last 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with purple. Remove your stitch marker. Rounds 10 and 11 of the body, it's the same pattern. We're going to start off with 2 purple and we're going to end with 6 purple. So they're the same. So let's start with round 10 in the first chain with purple. Another purple. And now your blues and the last 6 chains with purple. $20 stitches. And now we're going to do rounds 11, starting off with purple, purple, and then blue to your last 6 chains. And now purple. Remove your stitch marker, and you should have 20 stitches. Round 12, we are going to start off with 1 single purple, blues, and then the last 6 stitches will be purple. Going in your first chain, so you're just adding 1 band again to each chain around, and now switching to blue. Now purple. Remove your stitch marker. For round 13, I'm going to use all blue elastics, and we're going to make this round smaller. So we're going to decrease on every third and fourth stitch. So the pattern is 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. You're going to repeat this 5 times. I am going to start off with a slip stitch because we're going to make a round now. So I'm going to go in my first chain, grab my single blue band and bring it through all of the loops that are on my hook. Grab the end and slide. Now the next chain with one band. Take chain 3 and chain 4 and stitch together. Repeat 1, 1 in the next, 3 and 4 together. And again, 1, 1, 3 and 4 together. And just continue the pattern. You have 15 stitches. You can remove your stitch marker. Round 14, I'm going to be using blue bands, and the pattern is going to be 1, 2, and 3 together. 1, 2, and 3 together. Repeat this 5 times. Be careful with the first chain that you're going in. You're going to see I'm right here. You're going to see purple. Do not go in your little slip knot. You're going to go in your first chain with one band on your hook. Oops. Sorry. On your hook and slide. Now take chain 2 and chain 3 and stitch together. Repeat. 1, 2, and 3 together. 1, 2, and 3 together. And just continue. Should have 10 stitches. I'm just going to remove my stitch marker, and now we're just going to take a little bit of stuffing and fill the body. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm just going to flatten it, and whatever comes out, I'm just going to remove that. And that should be okay. Round 15, our last round. We're going to use 5 bands and we're going to close this off now. So we're going to grab every 1 and 2 and stitch together. 1 and 2 and stitch together. So starting on my first, 1 and 2. Your last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. Repeat 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And the last 2. You're going to bring this band through all of the loops, grab the other end, and tie it off. Now I'm going to sew the legs onto the body. I'll be using 4 blue elastics and 4 purple elastics just to match the colors around the leg. I'm going to be placing just a rubber band in the center. I have my slip knot at the bottom. I'm going to be doing the back legs first. So I'm just going to find somewhere in the center even with the purples. So I'm just going to place a rubber band just so you can see where I'm at. Actually, I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to grab my first leg and I'm going to start right here on the blue beside the slip knot, and you'll see the purple right beside. I'm going to grab the stitch here. So if you have your slip knot here, I'm going to grab the your stitch on your body right here. So I'm going to go through the leg and then I'm going to go through the body. I'm going to bring a blue band that matches the leg through all of the loops that are on my hook. Grab the end and slide. Now I'm going to place this leg flat and I'm going to grab the next stitch on the leg that's beside the slip knot, and I'm going to grab the purple bands here on the body. Bring a blue through and slide. Moving on to the next stitch on the leg, I'm letting it lay flat. So naturally to where it is going to be. I'm going to grab the next loops right beside the purple, which is the blue. My leg is blue, so I'm going to bring a blue band through. You can bring it through all of the loops or just crochet normally. It doesn't matter. The next loop on the leg is starting to turn, so I'm going to grab the purple band that's right beside where we grabbed here. And I'm going to bring a blue band through. You can slide them through all the loops or crochet, it doesn't matter. The next loop on the leg is the purple, and I'm just going to lay it flat and figure out where it's going to go naturally. You can bring it through. The next loops on the leg, I'm turning, so I don't want to be grabbing the same band, I want to grab the next one. On the leg, purple, and the last one. You want to do a slip knot. And there's one leg. Now to do the next leg at the back. I am right-handed, so these are the bands that I'll be using is 4 purple and then 4 blue. Whatever color loop is on your leg, that's the color band that you want to be using. So I'm going to start off in my first purple. That's opposite of the slip knot. Now I'm going to grab, you're going to see the purple at the back here. 1, 2, and 3. I'm just going to grab the middle one. And I'm going to grab a purple band and bring it through. My next chain on the body, I'm going towards the center. I'm going to grab the purple right below. You can slide them through. The next chain, I'm just going to grab the band that's attached to it, that's right below. You want to make sure that your legs are even now, okay? And your next purple, I'm turning. Now I'm going to go for the blue loops on the body, on the leg, and a purple right beside. Two loops on the leg. My leg is turning, but I'm still grabbing the purple or the blue, whichever you think. The next, and be grabbing the blue. You want to make sure that your legs are even. The next, I'm going to grab that purple. And the next, I'm just going to grab one that I feel is comfortable. I've used all my stitches. Sorry about that. Sorry. I'm just going to undo. I've used all my bands. I'm going to do a slip knot. And your legs should be even. I'm going to do the next leg now. So this is at the top part. I'm going to tie a slip knot of a red band just for you to see where I'm at. And I just want you to form your body to put it flat. Now I'm going to take my leg and I'm going to put my hook through the blue band that's beside the slip knot and the purple. I'm going to start about here. So I'm just going to put my hook through. I'm actually going to grab the blue and bring a blue band through. All of the loops that are on my hook. The next loop right beside the slip knot on the leg, I'm going to grab the blue that's right beside, bring it through. The next two, I'm turning now. just going to grab the purple, bring a band through, I'm turning, so I'm just going to grab the purple right beside, bring the blue band through on the purple. I'm going to grab the purple band right beside where you can see it's being pulled. The loops on the leg, you're going to see I'm going in a circle, so not where it's getting pulled, I'm going to go right through here. On the leg. And the last one. Bring it through all the loops and do a slip knot. So that should be okay so far. Our last leg, I'm going to put my hook. I'm just going to push the stuffing in, and I put my hook through the purple. That's opposite of the slip knot. I am going to be starting, if you're going to see where I am, you're going to see purple, 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 purple. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be going through right here. So you're going to see 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to bring a purple band through. The next loop on the legs, I'm going to go right beside. I'm going to bring the band through all of the loops. The next loop on the body, on the leg, and I'm going to go right below. My leg is starting to turn. Next loop, I'm going to grab right beside it, down below I mean. Bring it through. Loops on the leg, I'm going to go right beside, so right here. Bring it through. I'm starting to turn. The next loops, I'm just going right beside. And the last one, starting to turn. You want to make sure where you are so it's even with the other leg. I'm just going to grab a little bit lower. Bring it through. Grab the end and do a slip knot. And it should stand. Now we're going to sew on the ears. So you're going to have your 2 ears and you just want to place them so you can find your placement of where you want to have them. I'm going to do one right now. So with my hook, I'm going to bring these 2 bands through the loops on the head. So this is where I'm going to be placing them. So I'm going to pick these 2 stitches here, and I'm going to bring one band through, and I'm just going to bring the other band through. And I'm going to grab my band. So I have the 2 on my hook, and I'm just going to slide through. Now I'm just going to turn it towards the eyes, and I'm just going to attach 2 bands. So I'm just going to grab one of the bands, the loops on the body, on the head here, and I'm just going to grab 2 of the loops on the ear. So this way we're going to have it flat. So again, you just want to make sure that the ear is in the right spot. I think I'm just going to move up a little bit. And just check to make sure that you like the placement. And you're going to bring a band through all of the loops that are on your hook. And grab the end and slide. Just want to check. And I'm going to do this one more time. So I'm just going to go right below the loop on the head, and I'm going to grab 2 of the chains on the ear, right at the sides. And I'm going to bring a band through and do a slip knot. Grab the end and tie it off. And I'm going to do the other side. Now for the other ear. I'm going to start off with using 2 bands to do the sides, and then I'm going to grab these 2 bands through. So you just want to make sure that you want even and even. So I kind of went 1 and 2 rows over. So I'm just going to do the same, 1 and 2 rows over. And I'm just going to grab loops on the head, 2 loops on the ear. Doesn't matter which one. Bring a band through. I'm going to do this again. So I'm just going to find where I placed my band, which is now right straight where the eye is. So here, two loops on the ear, bring a band through, and slide. Just going to make sure that I'm going in an okay spot. And now I'm right straight where the eye is, so I want to be the same kind of spot on this side. So I'm just going to go in, 2 loops on the head, grab my band and bring it through. Right beside that, on the head, and bring my band through. And that should be okay. And now I'm just going to do a slip knot with a band. So I'm just going to grab 2 loops on the body, on the head here, and bring a band through and do a slip knot. And then you can just move the head around. And that's okay for me. You can hide your slip knots. I'm just going to go through the ear and bring the band through. I'm going to hide this one. And I'm going to go through the ear to hide the other one. And then you can do the same with the legs. The slip knots, you want to hide them. We don't need this band anymore. So just go through your body or the legs and just grab the slip knots and hide them. And you can do that all the way around. Now we're going to attach the tail. So you're going to find a placement that you would like to have your tail on. You're going to see your magic circle in the back, a nice perfect circle, not on the other side. This is where we're going to be attaching our head. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a single band. I'm going to go right above the magic circle, and I'm going to grab the loop on the body, and I'm going to bring a single band through. And you can let go. And I'm going to put my tail on the hook. I'm going to grab one end of this single band that we just put through, and I'm going to put the other end on my finger here, and I'm going to slide through the loops of the tail. I'm going to grab the other end of that single band and do a slip knot. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to wrap it around the tail. Now we're going to sew on the head to the body. So what I'm going to do first is attach 6 sewing bands to the back of the head. I'm going to do 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. I'm going to go somewhere in the center of the head. So I'm going to see 3 stitches. So I'm going to do a slip knot. So I'm just going to go in one of the stitches on the head here. And I'm going to bring a band through and do a slip knot. Grab the other end and tie off. I'm going to go right beside and do the same thing, a little slip knot, and beside that. Now I'm just going to go right below. So I'm going to find 3 of the stitches that are kind of even with the center of the head here. One, 2, and 3. Now you're going to need one more band to do a slip knot to tie it closed. So you're going to find your placement. If you put it too low, your body's just going to fall over. So you want to attach it just the stitches below the middle of the body. So about here. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to pull the 3 top bands through. So I'm going to kind of find even and where I want to go. So I'm going to start about here. And then I'm going to bring one band through from the head. I'm going to go in the next stitch right beside it and catch the second band that's closer to the top of the head and bring it through. Now I'm just going to slide. And one more stitch. Grabbing the last band, our last sewing band, and bring it through. Now I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to do the same thing with these bands, and I'm going to go in the stitches right below. So I am going to go maybe about here, grab the band and bring it through, and just slide. The next stitch beside, and the same thing inside. And then right beside that. With our last band, we're going to do a little slip knot, but just make sure that you like the head. if you put the band kind of in the middle of your hook, you can see if it's going to stand or not, or how the head is. I'm okay like this. So now I'm just going to grab the stitches, kind of probably like on the head or anywhere really, and just pull a band through all of the loops and do a slip knot. And that should be okay. And then you can just hide the band wherever you like. Now we're going to attach the hair. You can go down a little bit more if you'd like. Am I in camera? You can go down a little bit more if you'd like, or stop right at the neckline. It's up to you. The amount of bands that you need, I think, are about 20 bands, but it also depends on how you sewed the head onto the body and how much stuffing or tension. So it depends on you how far you want to go or how many bands you have to use. What I'm going to do right now is where I'm going to start is probably about right here. Sometimes you're going to have to grab 2 loops or sometimes grab 1 loop. You just want to make sure that you're even. So right now I am going to start off with grabbing just the 1 loop, and I'm going to take a single band and wrap it around my hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. The same thing that we did with my horse and zebra design, and you're going to slide the band on and slide it through. Grab the end and slide. You're going to grab the little loops, just keep on going down. So you're going to take another black band, wrap it 3 times, a single band, bring it through all of the loops and on your hook and slide. You want to go right below. This time I'm grabbing 2 loops just so I remain in the center. Again, it depends on how you created him, how you sewed him, where you place the ears. It depends on a lot of things. So it might not be the exact same way I am doing it. Slide it on, bring it through all of the loops, or you can just crochet is fine, it doesn't matter, and slide. Now I'm going to grab 1 of the blue bands here. 1, 2, and 3. So what I meant about crocheting is just slide it on, bring it through, on your hook, and slide. I'm going to grab 2, because if I only grab 1, I'm going to start going to the side. So I'm going to grab 2 loops, single band, wrapped 3 times, slide it on, and slide it through. On your hook and slide. I'm going to grab 1 band now. 1, 2, and 3. Slide. On your hook and slide. I'm going to grab 1 right below. 1, 2, and 3. On your hook. And now I'm going to grab 2. 1, 2, and 3. Slide. One loop I grabbed, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to go down 1, 2, and 3 and slide. This one I'm going to do a slip knot. You can continue going down more. I'm going to slide through all of the loops that were on my hook, grab the end, and tie off. And you can hide the little slip knot. I'm going to do the bow now. So it's up to you how many bows, how many bands you'd like to use. I'm going to be using 3 bands, and I'm going to just go down once on the loom. I'm using the bottom just because I find it easier. And with your hook, you're going to grab your band and bring it through and do a slip knot. I'm going to hold the band and remove off the loom so that the bands are, I'm trying to keep them straight, and give it a tug. And now you can wrap this around with the bow on the facing. Don't want it turned on the bottom, and just I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to take one of the ends and just bring it over the bow. And move it down a bit. Now I'm just going to add the little nose. I am going to be using 2 C-clips. You could use a band to do a slip knot and then just keep turning it in to hide it inside. So I'm just going to find a placement. I'm going to be going through 3 of the loops. So you'll see 1, 2, and 3. So find where you'd like to place them. I'm just going to go straight where the eyes are down. And I'm going to go through 1, 2, and 3. One, 2, and 3. I'm going to bring a black band through, grab the end, and attach a C-clip. Or this is where you can do a slip knot with a band. And you just have to turn it and put the C-clip inside. If you see too much of a gap, it's because we went through 3 holes. Just stretch the band a bit. Now for the other side, I think I'm going to go here. I'm going to go right here. So I'm going to have 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to have to go right below. Just wherever you feel that is a good placement for you, bring it through. Attach a C-clip. I'm just going to check. Yep. And push. And it's done. I hope you enjoyed Looming with Cheryl. Please subscribe down below. I have a lot more designs to load, and I will see you next time with another. Bye for now.